Dishes it to Pierce. 6 on the shot clock. Now Porter. Another one falls for Washington.
But they've been so sound offensively in the second half. I love the way they're playing.
Yeah, there's really no comparison in the shooting percentages between the teams since the break.
Now here's Jennings. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. Jennings has got 21.
Really aggressive play, taking it to the rim against the big man.
Tell you what, I love that fearless attitude.
Gortat with a screen on Jennings. Porter kicks to Gortat. Plays it up and banks it in. And the Wizards lead by 12. For those just joining us, fourth quarter here. We're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Jennings kicks to Butler. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And Drummond throws it down.
Major league big boy throwdown right there.
And he keeps a tight grip on that rim after the finish.
And maybe that'll give this team a little bit of their edge back.
Time called here. The Wizards decide to talk it over. Well, you knew that Andre Drummond was oozing with potential, but that keyword, potential, can quite often be as much a curse, Clark, as it is a boon, but he just blossomed last year.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, with the way he moves around the floor at his size, you had to know that if he started to put it all together, he would be a game-changing talent, and he showed flashes of that and made a big leap last season.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Hi, Kevin. Randy Whitman was just going over the plan with his team. He gave his guys the green light to keep firing from downtown, telling them, listen, I like the work you're doing out there. Keep finding those gaps on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots.
Tough D on the inside.
Put up a roadblock, a construction barrel right there. That's what he brings defensively.
Wall against Jennings. Wall dishes to Gortat. Good. Gortat's got 4 points this quarter.
And you said with Drummond, the movement and fluidity of him, he makes the extraordinary seem so easy at times. Very much a highlight reel machine at such a young age. These are incredible rebounding numbers. I'm not sure if we've ever seen anything like this, Clark.
That's for sure, Steve. I mean, a superhuman performance on the backboard. Well done.
Outside Butler. Pass to Jennings. Left side, Jennings. From 12 feet out. Jump shot is good that time. Jennings has got 23 points.
The highlight plays will always be there for a guy like Drummond. Size, speed, athleticism. But, he was able to take on a lot more minutes last year and did not see an incredible efficiency drop-off, which is impressive. I think that could be just a sign of things to come for this young man.
Pistons trail by 12. Outside Jennings. He kicks it to Butler. Here's your Rebko. Lets it go with a 3. And it's Butler missing. Porter kicks to Wall. Pierce inside the three-point line. And that comes off the assist by John Wall.
Up over 50% now from the floor with the way they've shot this half.
Yeah, that's a nice improvement. It's not a surprise to see them out in front with the way they have shot throughout the entire game, as a matter of fact. They've been very efficient offensively. Well, they've been better than good on the glass today. There's a glaring discrepancy between these teams in that area of the game.
Yeah, that's what's paved the way for them to build this big lead, no question.
All of the scoring in tight is coming at that end of the court.
Well, they're finding the holes in the defense, Clark, and they're exploiting them.
The drive by Jennings. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. Butler can't get that one to fall. Washington leading now by 16. All with it. Kicks to Porter. Clock at 4. The feed now to Pierce. Lets it go with a 3. And play stops as it looks like they call it over the back here.
Obviously, he's not afraid of physical play, but he still needs to play in control.
And he definitely wasn't in control that time. Everybody in the building knew it was an over-the-back call.
Nene, he's checked in for the Wizards. Temple comes in for Otto Porter Jr. and Detroit with a change here too. Monroe's checked in. Wall against Jennings. Monroe sets a screen for Jennings. Shot off the pick. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
Good sets, good offensive sets are built on solid screens, and that was an example of how you don't want to set a pick.
And there's the call. It's going to be an illegal screen.
You know, that turnover right there isn't typical of the performance he's turned in today. In fact, that's his only turnover of the game. He's done a really good job taking care of the ball.
Pistons trail by 16. Drummond with a screen on Wall. And Drummond kicks to Jennings. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Pretty bad defense letting the offense get right to the rim, but smart play to foul once he was there.
But you know it's going to happen, and they sent a message right there. Nothing easy inside.
Hey, guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for Washington?
They've been the aggressors, and they've been tougher in the paint all game.
They've consistently drilled the mid-range jumper tonight as well, which has forced the D to come out on them.
And that one falls for Jennings. The Detroit Pistons, a proud franchise, of course, from 03 to 08, 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals. And Clark in 2004, the NBA title.
But the rebuild process has had its hiccups, Kevin, its speed bumps, if you will, some questionable free agent signings. There's talent there, but this team hasn't quite figured out how to come together.
Then you look at the Pistons, great size and athleticism inside, but they've lacked the high percentage outside shooting to space the floor offensively.
And Wall kicks to Pierce. Gortat with the screen for Pierce. Shot clock at 6. Wall. And another miss by Washington.
Looked like he rushed that one, guys. The defense was out of position. He was wide open, just couldn't take advantage.
And, you know, for the Pistons last season, you look at the size and shot blocking ability, and you thought that team would be tougher defensively. But that wasn't really the case. I think it has to be attributed to mindset. Those young, big, athletic guys have to become much tougher mentally at the defensive end to be really successful.
Jennings against Wall. The shot by Butler. Nobody around. It's 3 pointers off the mark.
He's not a guy that we're able to count on the way he's playing in this quarter.
And Temple kicks to Nene. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. For the past few seasons, the Wizards have been making trades almost every season, but they stuck with their roster last year, and Clark had paid off.
It sure did, Kevin. You could see how they continued to grow into a really tight-knit, cohesive group over the season, and that always makes a difference.
And he makes the first.
And some stability for this franchise, which had seen some ups and downs over the past few years. Nice to have a foundation for the Wizards to build off
of. Second free throw, no good.
And if you look at how Washington has set themselves up, the Wizards should be in a good place for a long time. I mean, they only have to make some minor adjustments to the roster as they have the major pieces in place, particularly that backcourt. John Wall, Bradley Beal, that's a keeper of a backcourt for a long time.
Here's Wall following the bucket by the Pistons. Pierce inside the three-point line. That's good. And so Wall with the assist. 22 points for Paul Pierce. Pistons trailed by 15. Caldwell Pope kicks to Drummond. Wall with the steal. Pass to Pierce. Back to Wall. Shot clock at 6. Here's Temple off the left rim and out. Detroit's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. Jennings kicks to Butler. Here's Monroe, and the rebound paying off as they pick up 2 on the second chance bucket right there.
That's what has to happen if they're going to turn this thing around. He's got to take charge. He's got to be aggressive and really look to push here offensively.
John Wall is 6'4", with a 39-inch vertical leap and long arms to boot, is an elite physical specimen when it comes to the point guard position.
And Wall, a blur, guys, in the open court. Perhaps, Steve, perhaps the fastest player in the league end-to-end. He is devastating in transition.
Yeah, he's so tough to stop around the rim, even in the half court. But when he gets ahead of steam going, he can get into the lane and then finish with either hand. So, man, he is tough to stop.
John Wall is becoming very efficient running the pick and roll. He's got a nice pull-up from the right elbow if the defender decides to sag off or go under the screen. And if they play up on him, he can blow right by him. So because of his finishing ability, that's a tough cover.
Smith checked in for Detroit. And so Wall nails both of them. And Wall has some good big men to work with running that pick and roll. Nene, very mobile. Steve, a great finish.
Yeah, and of course, Marcin Gortat spent a couple of years running the pick and roll with Steve Nash in Phoenix. So, you know, he's had some pointers for Wall, too. All in all, you love to see the chemistry that has developed between all those players.
Now a timeout called by Detroit.
You know, oftentimes when you go on the road, you're going to have to win close games. And the Pistons really struggled in that regard. And as a result, they didn't find themselves winning too many on the road.
And here is Monroe. Drummond with a screen on Nene. And Monroe kicks to Smith. Jennings passes to Smith. Here's Caldwell Pope. It's good. The assist that time from Smith. Caldwell Pope's got 8 here in the quarter. Guys, for the Pistons, they are a young team overall, and that can be a factor in both road games and close games.
Well, the nerves can get to you, or you know, just a little bit of inexperience as well. The 12 and 29 road record for the Pistons last year. They know that's something they have to improve upon.
Here's Temple following the 3 by Detroit. 5 on the clock. Pierce inside the 3-point line. The Wizards with another miss.
You know, they haven't had the best day inside, but they got one when it mattered most.
Jennings drives in. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. Jennings has got 26 points.
Boy, beautiful assist. That's a couple of teammates clearly on the same page.
Gortat with the screen for Wall. Temple dishes to Nene. That one goes. Count. And the Wizards lead by 12.
I wasn't so sure he could get it turned around after that poor first half, but he's got it rolling here a little bit in the second.
Outside Jennings. Pass to Monroe. It's back to Jennings. Smith kicks to Caldwell Pope. Lets it go. Rebound by Nene. Wizards leading by 12.
And there's no doubt about this one. Playing with a lot of confidence tonight. A statement victory for Washington.
Yeah, you can see me and Clark, Steve, shaking our heads. Yeah, this has got to be one of the most rewarding wins they'll have this season. Clark, they could have easily gone quietly, but they fought back so hard.
Kevin, I love the resilience we saw there. I mean, it really is an indicator of character that when the situation was at its worst, they were suddenly at their best.
And so with this win, they'll move to 6 victories on the season.
Well, they can chalk this win up, but things are far from settled between these two teams. They'll see each other 3 more times before the season is over.
And they say familiarity breeds contempt. As they get to know each other a little better, you imagine things will get heated up. Tonight was only chapter 1.
Big blunder there, and that could cost them.
Major blunder, and you're right, a terrible time for that to happen when they're trying to chip away at this deficit.
And Washington going with a whole new group here. And a different look here for the Pistons. Jerebko's checked in for Andre Drummond. Butler comes in for Smith. Dinwiddie's checked in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And DJ Augustine subbed in for Brandon Jennings. And again, Washington no good. Now here is Augustine. Nails it from the high post.
DJ Augustine.
Now here is Miller. And so it's Washington easily grabbing this one.